Imagine the sun setting over the ancient spires of Angkor Wat, its golden rays filtering through the carved stone towers, casting long shadows across the lush emerald plains of Cambodia. The air is warm, heavy with the scent of jasmine and earth, and a gentle breeze carries the distant murmur of a forgotten world. This is the heart of the Khmer Empire, a civilization that once shone like a star in the tapestry of Southeast Asia, its legacy etched into the magnificent temples and intricate waterways of Angkor. As you settle into this moment, let the story of the Khmer Empire guide you into a place of calm, where history unfolds like a dream, soft and unhurried. The Khmer Empire, flourishing from the 9th to the 15th centuries, was a beacon of culture, power, and ingenuity. At its zenith, it stretched across modern-day Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and southern Vietnam, uniting diverse peoples under the divine rule of god-kings. Angkor Wat, the crown jewel of this empire, stands as a testament to their architectural genius, spiritual devotion, and unyielding ambition. Built in the early 12th century, this vast temple complex is not merely stone and mortar, but a reflection of the Khmer Sula Bridge between earth and the heavens. In this journey, we will wander through the rise and fall of this remarkable civilization, explore the lives of its people, and linger in the timeless beauty of Angkor Wat, all while the world around you fades into a peaceful slumber. Close your eyes and picture a land of rivers and forests where the mighty Mekong and the great Tonle Sap Lake cradle a people destined for greatness. It is the year 802, and a young king named Jayavarman II stands atop a sacred hill, Phnom Kulen, his heart pounding with purpose. The air is thick with the chants of priests, their voices rising like smoke to the gods. In this moment, Jayavarman declares himself the Chakravartin, the universal monarch, anointed by the gods to unite the scattered tribes of the Khmer. This is the birth of the Khmer Empire, a spark that would grow into a flame illuminating Southeast Asia. Jayavarman II was no ordinary ruler. He was a visionary, driven by a desire to forge a kingdom that would endure. He established his first capital at Hariharalaya, near modern-day Rolowos, where the foundations of Khmer power took root. The early Khmer kings built modest temples of brick, their surfaces adorned with carvings of deities and mythical serpents, the Naga, who guarded the land. These were the seeds of a civilization that would soon blossom into something extraordinary. As the centuries passed, the Khmer Empire grew stronger, its kings weaving a complex tapestry of alliances, conquests, and divine authority. By the 10th century, the empire had moved its heart to Yasodharapura, the precursor to Angkor, a city that would become the center of the Khmer world. The kings who followed Jayavarman II, men like Indravarman I and Yasovarman I, expanded the empire's borders and perfected the art of hydraulic engineering. They constructed vast reservoirs, known as barrays, and intricate canals that transformed the flood-prone plains into fertile fields. These waterways were the lifeblood of the Khmer, ensuring bountiful harvests and sustaining a population that would grow to over 1 million souls. Now, let the scene shift to the 12th century, a time when the Khmer Empire stood at the height of its glory. Picture the city of Angkor, its streets bustling with life, its skyline dominated by towering temples that seemed to touch the stars. At the center of this world is Angkor Wat, a marvel born from the vision of King Suryavarman II, who reigned from 1113 to 1150. As you drift through this ancient city in your mind, Imagine the sound of artisans chiseling stone, the laughter of children playing by the canals, and the soft chants of priests echoing from the temple's heart. Angkor Wat was not merely a temple but a cosmic map, a representation of the universe itself. Its 5 central towers rise like the peaks of Mount Meru, the mythical mountain at the center of Hindu and Buddhist cosmology. The moat surrounding the temple, shimmering under the tropical sun, symbolizes the cosmic ocean, while the concentric galleries within mirror the layers of existence. Every inch of Angkor Wat is a testament to the Khmer's devotion, their belief that their king was a living god, a bridge between the mortal and divine. The construction of Angkor Wat was a feat of human endurance and ingenuity. Thousands of workers, from skilled artisans to laborers, toiled under the tropical sun to quarry sandstone from distant hills, transport it along rivers, and carve it into intricate bas-reliefs. These carvings, stretching for miles along the temple's galleries, tell stories of gods and heroes, of battles and rituals. One panel depicts the churning of the ocean of milk, a Hindu myth where gods and demons work together to create the elixir of immortality. Another shows Jayavarman II himself leading his army in a grand procession, his eyes fixed on eternity. Beyond Angkor Wat, the Khmer built other wonders that still whisper their stories. Angkor Thom, founded by King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century, was a fortified city of unparalleled grandeur. At its heart lies the Bayon, a temple adorned with hundreds of serene stone faces, each gazing outward with a gentle smile. Scholars believe these faces represent the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, a symbol of compassion, or perhaps Jayavarman VII himself, watching over his people. Nearby, the temple of Ta Prohm, now entwined with the roots of ancient banyan trees, evokes a sense of timeless mystery, as if nature and stone have become one. The Khmer were masters of more than just architecture. Their society was a vibrant mosaic of art, music, and dance. The Apsara dancers, immortalized in stone, moved with grace in royal courts, their gestures telling stories of gods and love. Markets buzzed with traders from distant lands, China, India, Champe exchanging silk, spices, and precious gems. The Khmer's advanced irrigation systems ensured that rice fields flourished, feeding a population that rivaled the great cities of medieval Europe. Life in Angkor was a delicate balance of labor and celebration, of devotion and ambition. Let us pause to consider the people who brought this empire to life, for they are the soul of this story. The Khmer society was a pyramid, with the god king at its apex, revered as a divine intermediary. Below him were nobles and priests, who managed the empire's temples and lands. Artisans and merchants formed a vital middle tier, crafting everything from stone sculptures to delicate jewelry. At the base were the farmers, whose toil in the rice fields sustained the empire's wealth. Yet, even the humblest laborer was part of a grand vision, their work dedicated to the glory of the gods and the king. Life in Angkor was shaped by the rhythms of the monsoon and the cycles of rice planting. Farmers worked the fields, guided by the intricate network of canals and reservoirs that ensured water in times of drought. Women played a central role, not only in the home but also in markets and religious rituals. Inscriptions from the period tell of female donors who gifted land to temples, their names carved alongside those of kings. Religion was the heartbeat of Khmer life. In the early centuries, Hinduism dominated, with temples dedicated to gods like Vishnu and Shiva. Angkor Wat itself was built as a shrine to Vishnu, its galleries alive with Hindu myths. But by the late 12th century, under Jayavarman II, Mahayana Buddhism rose to prominence, blending with Hindu traditions in a harmonious synthesis. Monks in saffron robes walked the streets of Angkor, their presence a reminder of the empire's spiritual depth. Yet, life was not without hardship. The labor required to build temples like Angkor Wat was immense, and while some workers were paid, others may have been conscripted. The tropical climate brought disease, and the constant threat of war with neighboring Champa and later the Thai kingdoms loomed large. Still, the Khmer people persevered, their resilience woven into the stones of their temples. As the sun sets in your mind's eye, imagine the light dimming over Angkor, the once vibrant city growing quiet. By the 13th century, the Khmer Empire began to falter, its golden age giving way to shadows. The reasons for this decline are complex, like the roots of a tree spreading beneath the earth. Wars with the Champa and the rising power of the Thai kingdom of Ayutthaya drained the empire's resources. Each battle chipped away at the Khmer's strength, leaving scars on the land and its people. The environment, too, played a role. The Khmer's hydraulic system, once a marvel, began to falter. Studies of tree rings and sediment cores suggest that prolonged droughts, punctuated by intense monsoons, disrupted the delicate balance of water management. Canals silted up, reservoirs dried, and rice yields dwindled. The people of Angkor, who had mastered nature for centuries, found themselves at its mercy. Internal strife added to the empire's woes. The divine aura of the god kings began to fade, and rival factions vied for power. By the early 15th century, Angkor was abandoned, its temples left to the jungle. The Khmer kings moved their capital south to Phnom Penh, seeking a new beginning. The great city of Angkor, once home to 1 million souls, fell silent, its stones reclaimed by vines and trees. But this is not a story of loss alone. The Khmer Empire may have faded, but its legacy endures. The language, art, and traditions of the Khmer people live on in modern Cambodia. Angkor Wat, rediscovered by Western explorers in the 19th century, became a symbol of national pride, its silhouette gracing the Cambodian flag. In 1992, UNESCO declared Angkor a World Heritage Site, recognizing its universal value. Now, let your mind drift to the present, where Angkor Wat stands as a beacon of human achievement. Each year, millions of visitors walk its ancient corridors, marveling at the carvings and towers that have stood for nearly a millennium. The temple is a place of pilgrimage, not only for Cambodians, but for all who seek to touch the past. At dawn, the first light bathes the towers in a soft glow, a moment that feels like a whisper from the gods. Yet, Angkor Wat faces challenges: the wear of time, the pressure of tourism, and the threat of climate change test its resilience. Conservation efforts, led by Cambodian authorities and international partners, work tirelessly to preserve this treasure. Every stone, every carving, is a piece of a story that belongs to all of us. As you listen to this tale, let the image of Angkor Wat linger in your mind, a place where history and dreams intertwine, the Khmer Empire, with its triumphs and struggles, reminds us of the fragility and beauty of human endeavor. Its temples are not just relics but voices, speaking of a people who reached for the stars and left a mark on eternity. As the night deepens, imagine yourself standing before Angkor Wat, its towers silhouetted against a star-filled sky. The air is cool now, the world quiet, save for the soft rustle of leaves. The story of the Khmer Empire has carried you through centuries, from the ambition of kings to the labor of farmers, from the glory of temples to the silence of a city reclaimed by nature. Each moment, each life, is a thread in a tapestry that stretches across time. Let this story be your guide into sleep, a gentle current pulling you toward rest. The Khmer Empire, with all its wonders, is a reminder that even in the vastness of history, there is beauty in the small, the fleeting, the human. As you close your eyes, let Angkor Wat stand, watch, its stones whispering peace, its legacy a lullaby for your dreams. As the moon rises over the ancient stones of Angkor Wat, its soft light bathes the temple in a silver glow, casting gentle shadows that dance across the carved bas-reliefs. The night is still, save for the faint chirping of crickets and the rustle of leaves in the warm Cambodian breeze. In this quiet moment, the Khmer Empire feels alive, its stories whispering through the ages, inviting you to drift deeper into its world. Let your mind wander back to the 12th century, to the heart of Angkor, where a civilization's dreams and devotion shaped a legacy that endures as you listen. Let the rhythm of this tale carry you closer to sleep, each word a step into a peaceful, timeless dream. In our last journey, we traced the rise of the Khmer Empire, from the bold vision of Jayavarman II to the golden age under Suryavarman II, who gifted the world Angkor Wat. We walked through the bustling streets of Angkor Thom and marveled at the serene faces of the Bayon. Now, let us linger in this ancient world a little longer, exploring the lives of its people, the pulse of its culture, and the sacred spaces that defined their existence. This is a story of human connection, of faith and creativity, told in the soft cadence of a lullaby. Picture a morning in Angkor, the air heavy with the scent of rice paddies and blooming lotuses. The first light of dawn touches the rooftops of wooden houses, their thatched roofs glistening with dew. In the distance, the towers of Angkor Wat rise like sentinels, a reminder of the divine order that governs this land. The Khmer people begin their day, each life a thread in the intricate tapestry of the empire. From the farmer tending his fields to the artisan carving stone, every soul contributes to the harmony of Angkor. At the heart of Khmer society was the God King, a figure both mortal and divine, believed to be the earthly embodiment of gods like Vishnu or Shiva. The king's palace, though now lost to time, was a place of splendor, adorned with gold and surrounded by gardens where peacocks roamed. Yet the king was more than a ruler. He was a symbol of unity. his every action a reflection of cosmic balance. When he rode through the city in a golden palanquin, the people bowed, their hearts filled with awe and reverence. Below the king were the nobles, who managed vast estates and oversaw the temples that dotted the landscape. Priests, clad in flowing robes, performed rituals to ensure the gods' favor, their chants rising like incense to the heavens. These elites lived in houses of wood and stone, their walls painted with scenes of mythical battles and celestial dancers. Yet, their lives were not without duty. They organized the labor for temples, distributed rice during lean years, and mediated disputes among the people. The artisans of Angkor were the empire's quiet heroes. Imagine a young sculptor, his hands dusted with sandstone, chiseling a delicate Apsara dancer into a temple wall. His eyes are focused, his heart steady, knowing that his work will outlive him. A gift to the gods and future generations. These artisans, skilled in stonework, bronze casting, and weaving, created the beauty that defined Angkor. Their workshops buzzed with activity, the air filled with the clink of chisels and the hum of songs passed down through generations. Farmers, the backbone of the empire, worked the fields that stretched across the plains. Guided by the monsoon's rhythm, they planted rice in the fertile soil, their lives tied to the cycles of water and sun. The Khmer's hydraulic system, a network of canals, reservoirs, and dikes, was their lifeline. The West Beret, a massive reservoir stretching over 7 kilometers, shimmered under the sky, its waters feeding fields and sustaining life. Farmers worked together, sharing tools and songs, their laughter mingling with the splash of water as they tended their crops. Women in Khmer society were vital, their presence woven into every aspect of life. They wove silk into intricate patterns, sold fish and spices in bustling markets, and offered prayers at temple shrines. Inscriptions from the period tell of women who donated land to temples, their names etched in stone alongside those of kings. In the quiet moments of evening, mothers told their children stories of gods and heroes, their voices soft as the night breeze, planting seeds of wonder that would grow with time. Life in Angkor was not without struggle. The labor required to build temples was immense, and while some workers were paid in rice or cloth, others were conscripted. Their days long and grueling. Disease, carried by the tropical climate, could strike without warning, and the threat of war with neighboring Champa or the Thai kingdoms cast a shadow over even the brightest days. Yet, the Khmer people found strength in their shared purpose, their belief that their work served a higher calling. As you imagine their lives, let their resilience soothe you. Let their resilience soothe you. A reminder that, even in hardship, there is beauty in connection and hope. Religion was the heartbeat of the Khmer Empire, a force that shaped every stone, every ritual, every dream. As you drift through Angkor in your mind, picture a temple courtyard at twilight, where priests light oil lamps, their flames flickering like stars. The air is filled with the scent of sandalwood and the low hum of mantras, a melody that seems to rise from the earth itself. For the Khmer, religion was not separate from life. It was life, a thread that wove together the mortal and the divine. In the early centuries, Hinduism dominated, its gods and stories brought to the Khmer by Indian traders and scholars. Angkor Wat, built by Jayavarman II, was a grand tribute to Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. The temple's design mirrored Hindu cosmology. Its central tower represented Mount Meru, the home of the gods, while the surrounding moat symbolized the cosmic ocean. Every carving, from the serpent-like Naga to the dancing Apsaras, was a prayer in stone, an offering to the divine. The bas-reliefs of Angkor Wat tell stories that would have captivated the Khmer people. One gallery depicts the churning of the ocean of milk, a Hindu myth where gods and demons churn the sea to create the elixir of immortality. Imagine a Khmer child, wide-eyed, listening as a priest recounts this tale, the flickering lamplight casting shadows that seem to bring the carvings to life. These stories were more than myths. They were a way to understand the world, to find meaning in the cycles of life and death. By the late 12th century, under King Jayavarman II, Mahayana Buddhism began to flourish, blending seamlessly with Hindu traditions. Jayavarman VII, perhaps the most compassionate of Khmer kings, saw himself as a bodhisattva, a being dedicated to the salvation of all. His temples, like the Bayon, were adorned with serene stone faces, their gentle smiles radiating peace. These faces, whether of the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara or the king himself, reminded the people that compassion was a path to enlightenment. Buddhism brought new rituals to Angkor. Monks in saffron robes walked the streets, offering blessings and teaching the Dharma. Temples became centers of learning, where scribes copied sacred texts onto palm leaves, their words preserved for generations. The Khmer people embraced this spiritual shift, finding solace in the idea that suffering could be transcended through wisdom and kindness. Yet, religion was not only for the elite. Farmers offered rice and flowers at small shrines, their prayers rising with the smoke of incense. Artisans carved sacred symbols into their work, believing their craft honored the gods. Even in the humblest home, a small altar held offerings, a quiet act of devotion that connected the family to the divine. As you imagine these rituals, let their simplicity ground you, their repetition a gentle lullaby for your mind. The Khmer were artists of unparalleled skill, their creations a bridge between the human and the divine. Picture an Apsara dancer carved into the wall of Angkor Wat, her stone form frozen in mid-motion, her smile serene yet alive. The air around her seems to hum with the memory of music, the pluck of strings, and the beat of drums. The art of the Khmer was not just decoration, it was a language, a way to tell stories that would echo through time. The Apsara dancers, immortalized in stone, were inspired by real women who performed in the royal courts. These dancers, trained from childhood, moved with a grace that captivated kings and commoners alike. Their gestures, precise and fluid, told stories of gods and love, their costumes shimmering with gold and silk in the quiet of evening. Imagine a performance in the shadow of Angkor Wat. The audience hushed, their hearts lifted by the beauty before them. The bas-reliefs of Angkor Wat and other temples are a gallery of Khmer life. Some depict grand battles, with warriors on elephants charging through jungles, their faces fierce with determination. Others show everyday scenes, fishermen casting nets, women cooking over open fires, children playing by the river. These carvings were not just art, but history, a record of a people who loved, fought, and dreamed. Sculptors worked with sandstone, quarried from the Kulin Hills and floated down rivers to Angkor. Their tools were simple chisels, hammers, and patience, but their skill was extraordinary. Each carving was a meditation, a dialogue with the stone. Artisans also crafted bronze statues of gods, their surfaces polished to catch the light, and wove silk into textiles that rivaled the finest in Asia. These creations were offerings, not only to the gods, but to the future, a way to ensure the Khmer story would never fade. Music and poetry were also cherished in Angkor. Inscriptions mention orchestras that played during ceremonies, their melodies blending flutes, drums, and gongs. Poets composed verses in praise of kings and gods, their words sung in courts and villages. Though these sounds have long since faded, the stones of Angkor seem to hold their echo, a faint hum that lulls you deeper into this ancient world. Let us turn now to the creation of Angkor Wat itself, a monument that stands as the pinnacle of Khmer ambition. Imagine the year 1113, when Jayavarman II, a king of boundless vision, decrees the construction of a temple to honor Vishnu and secure his legacy. The site chosen is a vast plain, its soil rich and its horizon open to the sky. As you picture this moment, let the scale of the task sink in, its magnitude softened by the quiet determination of those who made it real. The construction of Angkor Wat took nearly 30 years, a generation's worth of labor. Thousands of workers, artisans, laborers, engineers came together. Their efforts coordinated with a precision that rivaled the empires of Rome or Egypt. Sandstone blocks, some weighing up to 8 tons, were quarried 50 kilometers away in the Kulin Hills. These stones were cut with such precision that they fit together without mortar, their surfaces smooth as glass. Transporting the stone was a feat of ingenuity. Workers loaded blocks onto rafts, floating them down rivers and canals to the construction site. Elephants, revered for their strength, hauled stones across the plains, their steps steady under the tropical sun. Engineers designed scaffolding and ramps, allowing workers to lift stones to the temple's highest towers. The moat, a shimmering barrier around the temple, was dug by hand, its waters reflecting the growing structure like a mirror. The artisans who carved Angkor Wat's bas-reliefs worked with a reverence that bordered on the sacred. Each panel, some stretching hundreds of meters, was a story told in stone. Imagine a carver, his hands steady despite the heat, shaping the delicate curls of an apsara's hair. His work was not just skill, but devotion, a belief that his art would please the gods and ensure the empire's prosperity. The human cost of this labor was significant. While some workers were paid, others were likely conscripted. Their lives shaped by the demands of the temple. Families waited for fathers and brothers to return. Their absence, a quiet ache. Yet there was pride in the work, a sense that Angkor Wat was a gift to the divine, a monument that would stand for eternity. As you imagine this labor, let its weight settle gently, a reminder of the sacrifices that built a wonder. The Khmer Empire was not only a realm of temples, but a masterpiece of engineering, its lifeblood flowing through a network of water. Picture the West Baray at dawn, its surface a perfect mirror, reflecting the pink and gold of the rising sun. This reservoir, one of the largest in the ancient world, was a marvel of Khmer ingenuity, a symbol of their ability to harness nature's power. The Khmer's hydraulic system was a web of canals, dikes, and reservoirs that stretched across hundreds of kilometers. The West Baray alone could hold 50 million cubic meters of water, enough to irrigate fields through the dry season. Smaller canals branched out like veins, carrying water to rice paddies and villages. Engineers, guided by an intimate knowledge of the land, designed this system to capture the monsoon's bounty and store it for leaner times. This water network did more than feed crops. It supported a population of over 1 million, making Angkor one of the largest cities of its time. It powered the empire's economy, allowing surplus rice to be traded with distant lands. It even shaped the spiritual landscape, with reservoirs like the East Baray serving as sacred sites, their waters blessed by priests. Farmers worked in harmony with this system, their lives tied to the ebb and flow of water. They planted rice during the wet season, their fields lush and green, and harvested in the dry months, their granaries full. The system required constant maintenance, canals dredged, dikes repaired. But the Khmer embraced this labor, knowing it sustained their world. As you imagine this network, let its rhythm soothe you, like the gentle flow of a river. The Khmer's mastery of water was a dance with nature, a balance that kept their empire alive. Even now, the barays and canals of Angkor remain, their stillness, a testament to a people who understood the delicate threads of life. As the night deepens, picture yourself standing at the edge of Angkor Wat's moat. The temple's silhouette, a dark, graceful shape, against the starry sky. The air is cool, the world silent, save for the soft ripple of water and the whisper of leaves. The Khmer Empire, with its temples and canals, its dancers and farmers, feels close, its stories woven into the fabric of this moment. This journey has taken us through the heart of Angkor, where faith and art, labor and love created a civilization that still captivates the world. The Khmer people, with their dreams and struggles, remind us that history is not just a record of kings, but a chorus of voices, each one vital, each one eternal. As you drift towards sleep, let Angkor Wat stand as a guardian, its stones a lullaby, its legacy a promise that beauty endures. Let the images of Angkor fade gently now, like a candle burning low. The farmers in their fields, the artisans at their craft, the dancers in their grace, they are with you, their stories a soft embrace. Sleep now, carried by the whispers of the Khmer Empire into a world of peace and dreams. As the stars twinkle above the ancient city of Angkor, their light weaves a silver tapestry across the stone faces of the Bayon, each one smiling softly, as if guarding a secret. The night air is warm, carrying the faint scent of frangipani and the distant murmur of a flowing canal. In this quiet moment, the Khmer Empire feels like a living dream, its stories unfolding gently, inviting you to sink deeper into its embrace. Let your mind drift back to the late 12th century, to a time when a king named Jayavarman II reshaped the soul of Angkor, his vision casting a glow that still lingers. As you listen, let the cadence of this tale guide you towards sleep, each word a whisper from a world of wonder. In our previous journeys, we wandered through the rise of the Khmer Empire, marveled at the creation of Angkor Wat under Jayavarman II, and lingered in the lives of its people, the farmers, artisans, and dancers who gave the empire its heartbeat. Now, let us step into the era of Jayavarman VII, a king whose compassion and ambition left an indelible mark on the Khmer world. This is a story of faith, resilience, and beauty, told in the soft hues of twilight, as the past cradles you in its arms. Picture the year 1181, when a man named Jayavarman VII ascends the throne of the Khmer Empire, his heart heavy with the weight of a kingdom in turmoil. The air is thick with the memory of war, for the neighboring Champa kingdom had sacked Angkor years earlier, leaving its temples scarred and its people shaken. Yet, Jayavarman is no ordinary ruler. He is a warrior, a scholar, and a devout Buddhist, his eyes alight with a vision of renewal. As you imagine him standing before his people, his robes flowing in the breeze, feel the quiet strength that radiates from him, a strength that promises to heal and rebuild. Jayavarman VII was not born to the throne. He spent years in exile, honing his resolve, and when he returned, it was with a purpose that transcended conquest. He saw himself as a bodhisattva, a being dedicated to the enlightenment of all, and his reign would reflect this ideal. Under his rule, the Khmer Empire entered a new golden age, one marked not only by grand temples, but by a deep care for the people. His story is one of transformation, a reminder that even in the wake of loss, there is hope, a thought to soothe you as you drift closer to sleep. Jayavarman's first act was to restore Angkor, making it stronger than ever. He founded a new capital, Angkor Thom, a fortified city whose name means Great City. Imagine its gates, each crowned with 4 massive stone faces gazing in every direction, their expressions calm and eternal. The city was a marvel, its streets laid out in a grid, its markets alive with the chatter of traders and the scent of spices. At its heart stood the Bayong, a temple unlike any other, its towers adorned with over 200 faces, each one a beacon of compassion. Jayavarman's reign was a time of unity. He rebuilt temples damaged by war, strengthened the empire's borders, and forged alliances with neighboring kingdoms. But his true legacy was his devotion to his people. He constructed hospitals over 100 across, the empire staffed by physicians and stocked with herbs and medicines. Inscriptions tell of his decree, "The suffering of the people is my suffering." As you picture these hospitals, their wooden halls filled with the soft murmur of healers, let their kindness wrap around you, a gentle reminder of humanity's capacity for care. Now, let us drift to another of Jayavarman's creations, the Temple of Ta Prohm, where nature and stone have become one. Imagine standing before its entrance, where massive banyan trees wrap their roots around crumbling walls, their branches casting dappled shadows on the ground. The air is heavy with the scent of moss and earth, and the silence is broken only by the call of a distant bird. Ta Prohm is a place of mystery, its beauty raw and untamed, a reminder that time is both a creator and a destroyer. Ta Prohm was built by Jayavarman II as a monastery and university, dedicated to his mother and the Buddha. Its halls once echoed with the voices of monks, their studies ranging from astronomy to poetry. The temple was a center of learning, its libraries filled with palm leaf manuscripts, its courtyards alive with debate and prayer. Inscriptions tell of thousands of priests and dancers who lived here, their lives devoted to knowledge and faith. Today, Ta Prohm is known for its union with the jungle. When Angkor was abandoned, the forest reclaimed the temple, its roots weaving through stone like threads in a tapestry. The result is a scene of haunting beauty, where doorways are framed by twisting roots and courtyards are shaded by ancient trees. Visitors often feel a sense of awe here, as if the temple holds the secrets of the Khmer, whispered in the rustle of leaves. As you imagine Ta Prohm, let its stillness envelop you. The interplay of stone and tree is a metaphor for the Khmer Empire itself, resilient yet vulnerable, eternal yet fleeting. Picture a monk sitting in meditation, his breath slow and steady, the world around him fading into silence. Let this image guide you deeper into calm. The temples embrace a soft invitation to sleep. The Khmer Empire did not exist in isolation. It was part of a vibrant web of cultures that spanned Southeast Asia. Picture a caravan arriving in Angkor, its camels laden with silk and spices from China, its traders speaking in a dozen tongues. The markets of Angkor were a crossroads where Khmer merchants bartered rice and fish for Indian textiles and Javanese bronze. As you imagine this bustle, let the hum of voices lull you, their cadence a gentle reminder of connection. The Khmer maintained complex relationships with their neighbors. To the east, the Champa kingdom was both ally and rival, their shared Hindu roots tempered by frequent wars. The sack of Angkor by Champa in 1177 was a wound that Jayavarman II healed, but it left a legacy of mistrust. To the west, the Thai kingdoms, particularly Sukhothai, were rising, their ambitions a growing threat. Yet, there were moments of peace, when diplomats exchanged gifts and marriages sealed alliances. China, the great empire of the north, was a key trading partner. Chinese records, like those of the diplomat Zhou Daguan, who visited Angkor in 1296, offer a glimpse of Khmer life. Zhou described a city of wooden houses raised on stilts, of kings adorned with gold, and of festivals where fireworks lit the sky. His words paint a picture of a confident empire, its culture a blend of local traditions and foreign influences. The Khmer also shared ideas with India, the birthplace of their religion and art. Indian scholars brought texts like the Ramayana, which inspired Khmer poetry and carvings. In return, Khmer architects influenced temples as far away as Java, their style a ripple across the region. This exchange was a dance of cultures, each step enriching the Khmer world. As you picture these connections, let them remind you of the threads that bind us all. Across time and distance, The Khmer Empire was a star in a constellation, its light touching others, its story part of a greater whole. Let this thought carry you gently, a soft wave towards slumber. Let us return to the people of Angkor, whose lives gave the empire its pulse. Imagine a village at the edge of the city, its houses clustered around a small temple, its fields stretching toward the horizon. The day begins with the crow of a rooster. As families rise to greet the dawn, the air is filled with the scent of cooking rice and the laughter of children, their voices bright against the morning's quiet. Farmers head to the fields, their tools slung over their shoulders. They work in rhythm, planting rice in neat rows, their movements guided by generations of knowledge. The canals, fed by the great berets, shimmer nearby, their waters a promise of abundance. Women weave baskets or tend to vegetable gardens, their hands quick and sure. In the distance, the towers of Angkor Wat rise, a constant presence, a reminder of the divine. At midday, the village gathers for a meal, sitting in the shade of a tamarind tree. They share plates of rice, fish, and mangoes. Their conversation, a mix of gossip and gratitude. A grandmother tells a story of the Naga, the mythical serpent who guards the rivers. Her voice soft and hypnotic. The children listen, their eyes wide, their imaginations soaring. In the afternoon, some villagers head to the city, where markets buzz with life. Traders call out, offering silk scarves and clay pots. While the aroma of grilled fish fills the air, a dancer practices her steps, her movements fluid as water, preparing for a performance at the temple. Artisans hammer bronze into statues, their work a prayer in metal. As evening falls, the village grows quiet. Families light oil lamps, their glow warm against the dusk. A mother sings a lullaby to her child, her voice blending with the chirping of crickets. At the temple, a priest offers incense, his prayers rising to the stars. The day ends as it began, in harmony. Each moment a note in the song of Angkor. As you imagine this rhythm, let it cradle you. Its repetition, a gentle tide. The lives of the Khmer were simple yet profound. Their days a balance of work and wonder. Let their story wrap around you, a soft blanket of peace, guiding you toward dreams. As the night deepens, picture yourself seated by a canal in Angkor, its waters reflecting the moon's gentle light. The temples stand silent, their stones warm from the day's sun, their stories woven into the fabric of the night. The Khmer Empire, with its kings and temples, its farmers and dancers, feels close. Its legacy, a quiet presence that soothes the soul. This journey has taken us through the reign of Jayavarman II, whose compassion reshaped Angkor and into the sacred spaces of the Bayon and Ta Prohm, where stone and spirit intertwine. We've walked the markets, felt the pulse of daily life, and traced the threads that connected the Khmer to the world. Each moment is a reminder that history is alive, its voices echoing through time, its beauty a gift to all who listen. Let the images of Angkor fade gently now, like stars at dawn. The faces of the Bayon, the roots of Ta Prom, the laughter of a Khmer child. They are with you. Their stories, a soft embrace. Sleep now, carried by the whispers of the Khmer Empire into a world of peace and dreams. As dawn breaks over Angkor, the first rays of sunlight kiss the spires of Angkor Wat, casting a golden glow across the temple's ancient stones. The air is alive with the scent of lotus blossoms and the gentle ripple of water in the nearby moat, a mirror reflecting the dreams of a civilization. The city hums softly, its streets stirring with the quiet footsteps of monks and the distant laughter of children. In this tender moment, the Khmer Empire feels like a living melody, its notes weaving through time, inviting you to sink deeper into its embrace. Let your mind drift to the 13th century, to the zenith of Angkor's glory, where culture, trade, and faith flourished in harmony. As you listen, let the rhythm of this tale lull you towards sleep. Each word, a soft brushstroke on the canvas of your dreams. In our previous journeys, we traced the rise of the Khmer Empire, marveled at the creation of Angkor Wat, and walked through the compassionate reign of Jayavarman II, whose temples like the Bayon and Ta Prom captured the soul of his people. We lingered in the daily lives of farmers and artisans, their stories a heartbeat of the empire. Now, let us immerse ourselves in the vibrant tapestry of Angkor's golden age, where trade routes buzzed, women shaped society, and festivals lit the night with joy. This is a story of connection and celebration, told in the gentle cadence of a lullaby, guiding you into a world of peace. Picture a bustling market in the heart of Angkor Thom, its stalls shaded by woven palm leaves, their surfaces piled high with shimmering silks, fragrant spices, and gleaming bronze. The air is thick with the chatter of merchants, their voices mingling with the clink of coins and the scent of grilled fish. A trader from China unrolls a bolt of crimson silk, while a Khmer woman barters baskets of rice for a string of Indian beads. In this vibrant scene, the Khmer Empire is not an isolated realm, but a crossroads of the world, its markets a bridge between distant lands. As you imagine this bustle, let its energy soften, its rhythm, a gentle wave carrying you toward rest. The Khmer Empire thrived on trade. Its economy, a complex web that stretched across Southeast Asia and beyond. Angkor's strategic location, nestled between the Mekong River and the Tonle Sap Lake, made it a hub for commerce. Canals and rivers served as highways, their waters carrying boats laden with goods to and from the capital, the Great Berets, like the West Beret. Not only irrigated fields, but also supported trade by providing water for transport during the dry season. Rice was the empire's currency, its surplus feeding the city and filling the holds of trading vessels. Khmer farmers, with their intricate hydraulic systems, produced enough rice to trade with neighbors like Champa, Java, and China. In return, Angkor received luxury goods, silk and porcelain from China, cotton and gems from India, and spices from the Malay Peninsula. Zhou Daguan, a Chinese diplomat who visited Angkor in 1296, marveled at the wealth of the markets, noting that even commoners wore gold jewelry and slept under silk canopies. Trade was not just economic, but cultural, a dance of ideas and traditions. Indian merchants brought Sanskrit texts, inspiring Khmer poetry and art. Chinese artisans shared techniques for glazing ceramics. Their influence seen in the delicate greenware found in Angkor's ruins. Javanese sailors introduced new shipbuilding methods, strengthening Khmer trade fleets. These exchanges enriched the empire, their legacy carved into the stone of its temples and woven into the fabric of its society. Yet, trade was not without its challenges. Pirates prowled the coasts, and rival kingdoms like Champa competed for control of trade routes. Merchants faced long journeys, their boats navigating treacherous rivers and stormy seas. Still, the Khmer persevered, their markets a testament to their resilience and ambition. As you picture these traders, their faces lit by the glow of oil lamps, let their determination soothe you, a reminder that even in uncertainty, there is strength in connection. Now, let us turn to the women of the Khmer Empire, whose presence was a quiet but powerful force in the tapestry of Angkor. Picture a woman standing in a rice field, her hands deftly planting seedlings, her face shaded by a woven hat. Nearby, another woman weaves silk at a loom, her fingers threading patterns that tell stories of gods and rivers in the temple. A dancer practices her steps, her movements a prayer in motion. These women, from farmers to queens, were the heart of the empire, their lives a melody of strength and grace. Women in Khmer society held roles that were both practical and sacred. In the fields, they worked alongside men, their knowledge of planting and harvesting vital to the empire's prosperity. In the markets, they sold goods, their sharp bargaining skills earning respect. Zhou Daguan noted that Khmer women were the backbone of commerce, often managing family finances with a keen eye. Their voices, firm yet kind, filled the air as they haggled over prices or shared news with neighbors. In the spiritual realm, women were revered as priestesses and donors. Inscriptions from Angkor tell of noble women who gifted land and gold to temples, their names carved in stone as benefactors. Some served as guardians of sacred relics, their presence a bridge between the human and divine. In the royal court, queens and princesses advised kings, their wisdom shaping decisions that guided the empire. Queen Indra Devi, a scholar under Jayavarman II, taught at the University of Ta Prohm, her words inspiring monks and poets alike. The Apsara dancers, immortalized in the carvings of Angkor Wat, were a symbol of feminine power. These women, trained from childhood, performed in temples and palaces, their dances a form of worship. Each gesture, from the curve of a wrist to the tilt of a head, told a story of gods or love. On their movements so precise, they seemed to float. Imagine a dancer in the glow of torchlight, her gold jewelry glinting, her audience spellbound. Her performance was not just art, but a connection to the divine, a moment of transcendence that lifted the spirit. Motherhood was another sacred role. In the quiet of evening, mothers sang lullabies to their children, their voices soft as the night breeze. They told stories of the Naga, the serpent who guarded the rivers, or of Vishnu, whose love sustained the world. These tales, passed down through generations, were a thread of continuity, binding the past to the future. As you imagine these women, their lives woven into the fabric of Angkor, let their warmth envelop you, their strength a gentle embrace. The Khmer Empire was a place of celebration, its festivals a burst of color and sound that lit the heart of Angkor. Picture a night during the water festival when the Tonle Sap River reverses its flow, a miracle that signaled abundance. The city comes alive, its streets lined with lanterns, their glow dancing on the water. Boats adorned with flowers glide along the river, their rowers singing as crowds cheer from the banks. The air is filled with the scent of jasmine and the crackle of fireworks, a symphony of joy that echoes through the night. Festivals were a time to honor the gods and the cycles of nature. The Khmer calendar, guided by the moon and stars, marked moments of planting, harvest, and renewal. During the new year, temples overflowed with offerings, rice, fruit, and incense, while priests chanted blessings for prosperity. Families gathered to share meals, their laughter mingling with the music of gongs and flutes. Children ran through the streets, their hands sticky with mango juice, their eyes bright with wonder. Rituals were the heartbeat of these celebrations. At Angkor Wat, priests performed the Abhisheka, a ceremony where sacred water was poured over statues of Vishnu, its droplets sparkling like jewels. Dancers offered performances, their movements a prayer that wove the human and divine in villages. Farmers held ceremonies to honor the rice goddess, their voices rising in gratitude for the harvest. These rituals were not just tradition, but a way to find meaning, to feel connected to the cosmos. One of the grandest events was the royal procession, when the king rode through Angkor Thom on an elephant, his golden parasol gleaming. The streets were lined with people, their hands pressed together in respect, their hearts lifted by the sight of their god-king. Musicians played, their drums a steady pulse, while dancers swirled in clouds of silk. Zhou Dagwan described these processions as a spectacle of wealth, with thousands of lanterns lighting the way, their glow a symbol of the empire's power. Yet, festivals were also intimate. In a village, a family might light a single lamp to honor their ancestors, their prayers whispered in the quiet of night. A mother might tie a sacred thread around her child's wrist, a blessing for protection. These small acts, repeated across the empire, were a reminder that celebration was not just grand but personal, a thread that bound every heart. As you picture these moments, let their joy wash over you, their warmth a soft invitation to dream. Even in its golden age, the Khmer Empire carried the seeds of its future challenges, like clouds gathering on a distant horizon. Picture a farmer standing in his field, his brow furrowed as he notices the canal running low, its waters sluggish under the relentless sun. In the palace, advisors whisper of unrest, of rival nobles vying for power. These were the early signs of strain, subtle but real, that would one day test the empire's strength. Yet, in this moment, Angkor remains vibrant, its people unaware of the trials to come. The Khmer's hydraulic system, a marvel of engineering, was both a blessing and a burden. The great barays and canals required constant maintenance, their banks reinforced, their channels cleared of silt. Prolonged droughts, recorded in tree rings from the period, strained the system, leaving fields parched and granaries empty. Monsoons, when they came, were sometimes too fierce, flooding canals and washing away crops. Farmers worked tirelessly to adapt, but the balance was delicate, and the land began to tire. War, too, cast a shadow. The Khmer's rivalry with Champa had been quelled by Jayavarman II, but new threats emerged. To the west, the Thai kingdom of Sukhothai grew bolder, its armies probing Khmer borders. Skirmishes drained resources, and soldiers returned to Angkor weary, their families waiting in quiet worry. The empire's military, once invincible, stretched thin, its elephants and war canoes no match for the growing ambitions of its neighbors. Within Angkor, the divine aura of the god-kings began to fade. The immense labor required for temples and wars stirred whispers of discontent among the people. Nobles, hungry for power, sowed division. Their rivalries a crack in the empire's foundation. Yet, these challenges were not yet fatal. The Khmer adapted, their festivals still bright, their temples still sacred. Jayavarman VII's hospitals and schools continued to serve, a beacon of hope amid uncertainty. As you imagine these shadows, let them feel distant, like a storm far off. The Khmer Empire, in its golden age, was a place of light, its people resilient, their lives a testament to the human spirit. Let this resilience comfort you, its quiet strength, a gentle guide into sleep. As the night wraps Angkor in its embrace, picture yourself seated by the West Baray, its waters shimmering under the moon. The temples stand silent, their stones a chorus of stories, their beauty a gift across centuries. The Khmer Empire, with its markets and dancers, its rituals and dreams, feels close, its pulse a soft rhythm in your heart. This journey has taken us through the vibrant markets of Angkor, where trade wove the empire into the world. We've honored the women who shaped its soul, celebrated the festivals that lit its nights, and glimpsed the first shadows of its trials. Each moment is a thread in a tapestry, a reminder that history is not just stone, but spirit, not just past, but presence. Let the images of Angkor fade gently now, like ripples on a pond, the merchants in their stalls, the dancers in their grace, the prayers rising to the stars. They are with you, their stories a warm embrace. Sleep now, carried by the song of the Khmer Empire into a world of peace and dreams. As the stars fade into the pre-dawn sky above Angkor, a gentle mist cloaks the ancient stones of Angkor Wat, softening their edges like a dream. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of damp earth and the distant call of a gibbon in the jungle. In this quiet hour, the Khmer Empire feels like a memory held close, its grandeur tinged with the bittersweet hush of twilight. Let your mind drift to the 13th and 14th centuries, when the once vibrant city of Angkor began to fade, its temples falling silent under the weight of time. As you listen, Let the cadence of this tale wrap around you, each word a soft step into a world of reflection and peace guiding you toward sleep. In our previous journeys, we wandered through the golden age of the Khmer Empire, marveling at the creation of Angkor Wat, the compassionate reign of Jayavarman II, and the vibrant markets and festivals that pulsed through the city. We honored the women, artisans, and farmers whose lives wove the empire's soul. Now, let us walk through the twilight of Angkor, exploring the forces that dimmed its light and the legacy that endures in the hearts of those who followed. This is a story of resilience and remembrance, told in the gentle glow of dusk, a lullaby for your dreams. Picture a farmer standing by a canal in the outskirts of Angkor, his eyes tracing the sluggish flow of water, its surface barely rippling under a relentless sun. The rice fields, once lush and green, are patchy now, their edges brittle with drought. In the distance, the towers of Angkor Thom stand proud, but their shadows seem longer, heavier, as if carrying a silent burden. This is the 13th century, a time when the Khmer Empire, still radiant, began to feel the first tremors of decline. These were not sudden calamities, but slow, interwoven challenges, like threads unraveling from a once sturdy tapestry. The Khmer's hydraulic system, a marvel that had sustained the empire for centuries, was at the heart of its vulnerability. The great barrays and canals, which fed fields and supported 1 million souls, required constant care. Workers dredged silt, repaired dikes, and prayed for the monsoon's timely arrival. But the climate, as revealed by tree rings and sediment studies, grew erratic. Prolonged droughts, stretching across decades, parched the land, leaving reservoirs like the West Baray, shallow and fields barren. When rains came, they were often torrential, flooding canals and washing away crops. Farmers, their faces etched with worry, worked tirelessly to adapt, but the balance they had mastered for generations began to slip. In the palace, advisors whispered of other troubles. The empire's wealth, built on rice and trade, was stretched thin by wars and grand projects. Jayavarman VII's temples and hospitals, though noble, had demanded immense labor and resources. The god kings who followed him struggled to maintain this legacy, their divine aura dimming in the eyes of a weary people. Nobles, sensing weakness, vied for power, their rivalries sowing discord in the royal court. Imagine a young prince, his heart torn between duty and doubt, watching as the unity of Angkor frayed. His sleepless nights mirror the empire's unease, a quiet ache that resonates through time. War, too, cast a lengthening shadow. To the west, the Thai kingdom of Ayutthaya rose, its armies bold and ambitious. Skirmishes along the border drained Khmer resources, and soldiers returned to Angkor with tales of defeat. To the east, the Champa, though weakened, remained a thorn, their raids a reminder of past humiliations. Each battle chipped away at the empire's strength, leaving villages mourning sons and husbands. Picture a mother lighting a lamp for her lost child, her prayers a soft murmur against the night, her grief though personal, was part of a larger sorrow, a tide that began to pull Angkor under. Yet, the people of Angkor did not surrender to these challenges. Farmers dug new channels, their hands calloused but determined. Priests offered rituals to appease the gods, their chants rising like smoke. Merchants continued to trade, their boats navigating rivers to bring silk and spices. The empire, though strained, still shone, its temples a beacon of hope. As you imagine this resilience, let it comfort you, a reminder that even in twilight there is beauty in perseverance, a thought to cradle you as you drift towards sleep. Now, let us step into the 15th century, when the heart of Angkor grew still. Picture the city at dusk, its streets quieter now, its markets sparsely filled, the great temples Angkor Wat, the Bayon, Ta Prohm stand as they always have. But their courtyards are empty, their altars bare of offerings. The jungle, patient and relentless, begins to creep closer, its vines curling around stone, its roots embracing the walls. This is the moment when Angkor, the jewel of the Khmer Empire, was abandoned, its people turning southward to a new future. The reasons for this abandonment are complex, a convergence of forces that tipped the empire beyond recovery. The hydraulic system, already weakened by drought, could no longer sustain the city's vast population. Archaeological evidence suggests that by the 14th century, key canals had silted up, their waters stagnant. Rice yields dwindled and granaries emptied, forcing families to seek fertile lands elsewhere. Imagine a farmer packing his tools, his heart heavy as he leaves the fields his ancestors tilled. His journey, though painful, is one of survival, a quiet act of courage. The rise of Ayutthaya was a decisive blow. In 1431, Thai armies sacked Angkor, their victory a symbol of the Khmer's fading power. Though the city was not destroyed, the attack shattered its confidence. The God King, once seen as invincible, could no longer protect his people, and faith in the old order waned. Nobles and priests, sensing the tide, began to move south, establishing a new capital near Phnom Penh, where the Mekong's flow promised stability. Picture a caravan winding through the jungle, its lanterns flickering like stars, carrying the hopes of a people seeking renewal. Religion also played a role. By the 14th century, Theravada Buddhism, with its emphasis on simplicity and monastic life, had spread across Southeast Asia, challenging the grandeur of the god kings. Temples like Angkor Wat, built for Hindu gods and Mahayana rituals, felt less relevant to a people embracing a new faith. Monks in saffron robes taught that enlightenment came not from divine rulers but from inner peace, a message that resonated in a time of hardship. Imagine a young monk meditating in the shadow of Angkor Wat, his breath steady, his heart at ease. His presence marks a shift, a turning away from the old ways. The abandonment was not sudden but gradual, a slow exodus that left Angkor a ghost of itself. By the mid-15th century, the city was largely empty, its wooden houses reclaimed by the jungle, its stone temples standing as silent sentinels. Yet, Angkor was never truly forgotten. Villagers nearby continued to visit the temples, offering prayers and maintaining small shrines. Angkor Wat, in particular, remained a place of pilgrimage, its stones, a link to the past. As you picture this quiet city, let its stillness soothe you, its silence a gentle invitation to rest. With Angkor abandoned, the Khmer people turned their gaze to the south, building a new capital near Phnom Penh. Picture a bustling riverside city, its markets alive with the chatter of traders, its temples modest but vibrant. The Mekong, broad and steady, offered fertile lands and new opportunities for trade. Here, the Khmer rebuilt, their culture adapting to a changing world. This was not the end of the Khmer, but a new chapter, one written with resilience and hope. The new capital, though smaller than Angkor, was a hub of activity. Traders from Portugal and Spain arrived, their ships docking along the Mekong, bringing glass beads and silver in exchange for rice and pepper. The Khmer kings, no longer god kings, ruled with a quieter authority, their power grounded in diplomacy and commerce. Theravada Buddhism became the heart of the kingdom, its monasteries centers of learning and charity. Monks taught children to read, their voices soft in the shade of palm trees, preserving the Khmer language and stories. Yet, the memory of Angkor lingered. Songs and poems told of the great city, its temples a symbol of a golden past. Families passed down tales of Jayavarman II's compassion, of Apsara dancers who moved like spirits, of canals that shimmered under the moon. These stories were a bridge, connecting the new Khmer kingdom to its roots. Imagine an elder, by a fire, her voice low as she recounts the glories of Angkor, her words weaving a thread of pride through the generations. The temples of Angkor, though abandoned, were not lost. The jungle protected them, its vines and trees shielding the stones from plunder. Angkor Wat, with its enduring beauty, became a place of quiet worship, its galleries echoing with the footsteps of pilgrims. Ta Prom, embraced by roots, took on a mystical air, as if the spirits of the Khmer lingered in its shadows. The Bayans' faces, their smiles untouched by time, watched over the land, a reminder of compassion in a changing world. As you imagine this new chapter, let its hopefulness ground you. The Khmer, though they left Angkor, carried its spirit with them, their culture a flame that never faded. Let this resilience wrap around you, a soft blanket of peace, guiding you deeper into calm. The legacy of the Khmer Empire is not confined to its stones, but lives in the soul of Cambodia. Picture a modern village near Angkor, its houses raised on stilts, its fields golden with rice. Children play in the shadow of a small temple, their laughter echoing the joy of their ancestors. In Phnom Penh, a dancer performs the Apsara, her movements a mirror of those carved in Angkor Wat. The Khmer language, rich with poetry, is spoken in markets and homes, its words a thread from the past. Angkor Wat is the heart of this legacy, a symbol of Cambodian identity. Its silhouette graces the national flag, a reminder of a time when the Khmer touched the stars. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992, the temple draws millions of visitors, each one awed by its beauty. At dawn, when the sun rises over its towers, the air feels alive with history, as if the spirits of the Khmer whisper in the breeze. The Khmer's influence extends beyond Cambodia. Their art-inspired temples in Thailand and Laos, their hydraulic systems a model for ancient engineers. The Apsara dance, with its graceful gestures, is performed across Southeast Asia, a living link to Angkor. Scholars study Khmer inscriptions, their words unlocking secrets of a civilization that shaped the region. Yet, this legacy faces challenges. The temples of Angkor, though resilient, bear the scars of time and tourism. Conservationists work to preserve them, their hands gentle as they clean carvings or reinforce walls. Climate change, with its floods and heat, threatens the stones, just as it once strained the empire's canals. Cambodians, proud of their heritage, lead these efforts. Their love for Angkor, a reflection of their ancestors' devotion. As you picture this legacy, let its endurance inspire you. The Khmer Empire, though it fell, left a mark that time cannot erase. Its temples, its stories, its spirit, they are a gift to the world. A reminder that beauty and resilience are eternal. Let this thought carry you gently, a soft wave towards slumber. As the night deepens, picture yourself lying beneath a canopy of stars, the silhouette of Angkor Wat faint against the horizon. The air is still, the world silent, save for the soft rustle of leaves and the distant flow of a river. The Khmer Empire, with its triumphs and trials, its temples and dreams, feels close. Its story, a warm presence in your heart. This journey has taken us through the twilight of Angkor, where drought and war dimmed its light, and into the aftermath, where the Khmer found new life in the south. We've traced the legacy that lives in Cambodia's soul, a flame that burns bright across centuries. Each moment is a reminder that history is not just loss, but renewal. Not just stone, but spirit. Let the images of Angkor fade gently now, like mist at dawn, the farmer by his canal, the monk in his prayers, the dancer in her grace. They are with you, their stories a soft embrace. Sleep now, carried by the dream of the Khmer Empire, into a world of peace and rest.